Hello everyone, welcome to Pushpa's English classes. Today I'm going to do the poem Animals written by the poet Walt Whitman. So this is the poem I have taken from grade 10 first flight book. So let's get started. We'll start with the introduction of the poet. Walt Whitman was born in the year 1819 and he died in the year 1892. He's a major figure in early American poetry. So he was the one who can be credited for breaking the tradition of rhymed and metrical poetry, because people before thought that if you have to write a poem, it has to be rhymed, right? But he was the one who believed that it did not be so. A poem can be written in a blank verse or a free verse. Now, what do I mean by a blank verse or a free verse? Okay, a blank verse or a free verse is that kind of a poetry which is devoid of any rhyme scheme. Okay, so the poem which we are going to do today is Animals, and that poem is a free verse poem. It has got no rhyme scheme. Okay, so he was very famous for writing a different kind of poetry which was free in free verse. Okay, so now this particular poem which we are going to do in details, it is taken from the book Song of Myself, which is in Leaves of Grass. So it's a very interesting poem. It gives us insight into what the poet is really uh, asking us to look for. Do we prefer to live with animals or do we prefer to live with human beings? And if we say we want to live with animals, what makes us say so? So we'll start with the poem. Okay, so the opening lines of the poem reads as, I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. So now the poet in the beginning of the line says, I think I want to live with animals. Okay, and he tells the reason, what makes him feel so. Because they are so calm. Okay, they are so placid, calm and peaceful, and they're so self-contained. They're happy with themselves, they're happy with their surroundings. And this is the reason the poet tells us that is the reason I stand and look at them long and long. This makes the poet, these qualities of the animals being calm and placid, okay, being peaceful, being happy with their surroundings, makes the poet look and, stare at them for long and long. Okay, we move to the other lines of the poem. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owing things. Sweat here means complaint, and whine here means cry. The poet is quite happy with the fact that animals do not make complaints and cry about their conditions like humans. Human beings always cry and they always have complaints, right? But animals do not do so. Animals eat and sleep peacefully as they have nothing to worry about, while humans, because of their wrong actions, are unable to do so and thus cannot sleep without worrying about them. So human beings, even after doing wrong, they pray to God and they say that they're loyal to God, they're fulfilling their duty to God. But this is something for us to question. Are we doing our duty to God? What is our duty to God? Our duty to God is to treat everybody properly and equally. We should not discriminate people, right? So in animals are not dissatisfied. They're happy with whatever they have because they do not want more and more like human beings always desires, one thing, and then the moment he has that thing he wants some other thing. So there is no end to our wants and desires, but that is not the case with animals. So the point is saying is that they are not dissatisfied, they are not mad after owning things, they are not mad of possessions, they are not mad of materialistic things which we humans are. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself, which they evince them plainly in their possession. So here the poet is telling that the animals need not kneel before anybody, but the humans have to kneel down before their ancestors. And the very line which says, not one is respectable or unhappy of the whole earth, the point means that since in the animals world everybody is treated equally, so that is the reason not one is respectable or unhappy. And so the poet says, this is the reason which makes me to accept the way the animals are, and they bring to me tokens of myself. So this tokens here is a symbolism which means the qualities. the qualities which human beings once possessed and now it is in the possession of animals. My dear students, it's time here to pause for a while and think what were the qualities which we have and the animals have them now and which we don't possess. Which were the qualities? Okay, so the poet says, bring me tokens of myself, they evince them plainly in their possession. Evince means they show now, they reveal this to me, the possessions which I had earlier. So we move to the next lines of the poem. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? So the poet is telling you, I wonder how these animals got those tokens. Did I pass through that many times ago, or did I carelessly drop them there? And that is the reason why animals evince them in their possessions, and they are showing me those possessions, those tokens which they have now. So there is no rhyme scheme in the poem. As I already told you, Walt Whitman was a poet. He always broke through the tradition of writing in a rhyme scheme and believed in writing poem in a free verse, a poem which is free from rhyme scheme. So now we move to the literary devices used in the poem. So we have anaphora. Anaphora is a use of repeated words at the beginning of two or more consecutive lines. If you have seen the poem very carefully, the lines, they do not sweat, they do not cry. So they do not is repeated in the consecutive lines. So that is anaphora, when words are repeated at the beginning of two or more consecutive lines. Metaphor, we already know it's a comparison between two things, unsimilar or very different things, then it is a metaphor. Here we have tokens as metaphors. We can also say they symbolize, the human qualities. So the word tokens, according to the poet, is the good qualities in human beings. Okay, the poet feels that nobody or nowadays good qualities do not exist in human beings. So what the poet is trying to tell us is that there is no one that has good qualities nowadays, because we gave all those qualities to animals. And why do we not have them now? Because of worldly things. Because we want to achieve these worldly things at any cost. We have become so materialistic. We always run after material possessions. And in the process, we have lost all the good qualities. Okay. So we also have alliteration in the poem, that is repetition of initial sounds in the same line or the adjacent line. Okay, so it says, they do not make me sick, make me, and then we have, I wonder where they got those tokens, wonder where. So that is alliteration, when we have repetition of initial sounds in the same line, in the same words or the adjacent words, then it is alliteration. I hope you have understood the poem. So if you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.